I just wanna be free with my people to prosper and hold it down. Don't you sit and wait, contemplating on a revolution. The time is now. I just wanna be free. 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 Can't you see? I just wanna be free.
Okay. Another episode of the Things I Wish I Knew About Money podcast. I'm your host, Kamille Smith. And how's it doing, folks? This is episode 92. Jeez, OMG. So once again, we are 8 episodes. I did do 8 like this. But I should do it like this. We're 8 episodes away from 100 episodes. Wow. And as you can see, this is a premiere. I'm actually going to a wedding. I'm not going to sing anymore. But that means I can't be live like I normally am, or like I would love to be. So, today it's gonna be a different episode. It will be short and sweet because a sister still got to get ready. But I was actually having a little writer's block, and then it didn't hit me until like yesterday night when I went to the Argos game, and big up Argos because they actually, not like they didn't actually win, but they did really well in the second half. Like at first it was getting a little rocky, but yeah, the Argos game was pretty awesome. And the highlight about having the Argos game is that you were able to go into the C&E afterwards. So you're just smack in the middle of the C&E, right? So it's like you're getting 2 events for the price of one, right? So winning. However, what I realized when I was there, that especially like if you think about carnivals, they really know how to what's the word? Entice you or intrigue you into wanting to win a prize. So I'll tell you guys a story and then we will go into what this episode's about. I wanted to win a prize. I wanted to win a prize for my friend, and I was determined. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get a gift. It's soft. I think, what was it? What was the first stupid thing? Because mind you, the games are $10 a play, and I was like, yo, I don't know. That seemed extreme. Oh, okay, I remember it. The first one is where you're smashing the groundhogs and stuff, right? And I thought I had it. I lost by 20 points, and I hit all of them, right? And mind you, I'm very competitive. So when I lost that one, I was like, nah, this is stupid. I'm gonna I didn't want to play that one because it I should have played that one again. But I was like, nah, I'm just gonna play something else. So then I went to the barrels and you just throw the ball in softly and stuff. And at first I was like, how hard can it be? I'm just gonna do it really softly, right? So the first, so you get only 2 balls and you have to get both balls into the basket. And anyone that's being immature, stop it. So the first one didn't go in. So I was just like, wow. And the lady's like, oh, you gotta do it lightly. So the second one, I did lighter than the first one, and it got in. So I got automatically upset, and I was like, no, 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 no. Okay, I understand this. Let's do it again. So she's like, all right, another $10. Mind you, all the things are $10, right? Once again, I didn't get it in the first time, and I was pissed. I was like, yo. So at this point in time, my ego is getting the best of me because I'm like, F this, and I'm competitive. Ego, competitiveness, not a great thing, right? So I'm like, F this, I'm gonna win something. So then I went to another game. Mind you, I should have went back to the groundhog one where you smash it because that seemed easier. But I went to the the ones where you shoot into the hole. Honestly, I know the people that are gonna hear this is just gonna be going in on what I'm saying because even whatever. Sorry, I digress. So you're shooting into the hole with the water gun, and whoever gets it to the top first wins. So I'm like, okay, the last person that was here won. So I feel like they set it up for that seat to win. So I sat there and I got distracted for one split second. I didn't even hear the guy say, ready, set, go, because he didn't say that. I don't even know what he said. All of a sudden, it started going. I was like, oh, shucks. I aimed it for the bullseye. It was going fast. I was like, oh, shoot. Didn't win. And then people on the sideline was like, honestly, he didn't even say go, and you could have won. So at that point in time, I was mad. I was frustrated. $40 gone. $40 gone in at least like 10 minutes. And I was cheesed because like literally that one was like, okay, Cam, you won. You won that one. You should have got the prize. But I left with nothing. So, and I was trying to be like Denzel Washington. I'm like, I'm gonna leave with something. But I left with nothing. So I was really annoyed. And it's not even that with like the carnival, the carnival theme is like they intrigue you to win these big ass prizes, and then people lose and they just want to continue to play and win something, right? Even the one where this was intriguing because someone told me this one before. um Such a great idea, actually. So you have to hang on for 1 minute and 25 seconds. If you stay on for 1 minute and 25 seconds, you win a prize, right? Within 5 to 7 minutes, I see about 8 to 10 people. None of them won. So in about 7 10 minutes, $100 was given to that person, and I was like, wow. And that's just because people were like, no, 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 I can do this. I can hang on for my dear life for 1 minute and 25 seconds. And some people were very close. Oh, I just remembered I did place a bet on one of the guys. See, and betting is bad, guys. Betting is bad because he literally had 5 seconds left and he dropped. That just reminded me something. So that comes into play with my ego got the best of me, and I can see in the carnival that the ego gets the best of a lot of people, and it makes me think like, wow, if my ego actually made me lose this money because I was determined to win a prize, I wonder how this relates with personal finance. Aha. And then I started doing some research and started looking through like some articles, and I found some great articles because I felt like, is ego the money killer in a sense? And if anyone doesn't understand what ego means, don't worry. I can help you. Sorry, I'm looking right here. Move. I can help you. Um, so let me give you guys the definition based on I'm not going to say the person's name. I'll say Mr. Toll. Um, the ego is the habitual and compulsive thought processes that go through everyone's mind continuously. Left unchecked, this constant ego monologue prevents us from focusing on the present moment, and instead we're caught up in worrying about what happens next or what we want to buy next. And I can relate because at that moment in time, I did not care how much I was enjoying the day. I was just focused on getting that prize. And I was like, I don't care about my money. So and I have to remind myself, and the reason why I'm having this episode is because I want others to think about the times when their ego or their competitiveness as well got the best of them when it came to spending on certain things. And I'm definitely going to, pinpoint some certain things. And there's great ways that we can talk about this with when it comes to like personal finance. And it's a great way to talk about it when it comes to entrepreneurship because our ego, like the one thing I've been really trying to calm is my ego. And when it comes to sports, I think, and competitiveness, I think that's when it really comes out for the worst. When it comes to like my personal finance, I've learned how to calm down, or even when it comes to like trading instead of investing, I had to pull myself back because I knew my ego was getting the best of me and it was causing me to do irrational or make impulsive or irrational decisions that is not going to help me further in life. But I digress. Even though I got the best of me yesterday, but I'm human. But there's always a threat when it comes to personal financial happiness and well-being, and that is the ego. So if you're able to be self-aware or be mindful of how your ego is when it comes to certain things in your life, then we're able to do better, right? So I will go through these these articles. There are 4 articles. I'm gonna go through them really quick. Look at the time. um, let's see. When it comes to money, especially, it's often perceived as stumbling blocks that prevent our ego from totally being satisfied with the present reality. So in order for us to feed that ego, we just want things like it's kind of like instant gratification. You want that thing, you want that bigger house so you can show off to people. Oh, bigger house means more happiness. Having that name brand equals happiness, or that right haircut. But it's not usually the case, right? It's like saying my day goes well if I start off with a Starbucks. You don't need a Starbucks to start off your day right. You just need a cup of coffee. Like it's simple as that. Whether you have a cup of coffee from home, or whether you get a cup of coffee from a mom and pop shop, right? So you want to take that into consideration. And um when it requires like anything that requires money to actually achieve something, and you don't have that money to burn, you might actually hinder your ego and be more miserable. So I can tell you this: when I didn't get my my ego got damaged after the last one. I was just like, I really can't get a gift. or I really can't like get a prize. Like this kind of sucks. So then I had to remember, like, you know what? It's okay. Like another day you can get something else, or it's a thought that matters, right? It's a thought that you tried and the person understands or you understand, and then boom, right? So something like that. And then let's see, when it comes to these type of things, like being with your ego, thinking about personal finance, you start actually, you start getting angry, first of all, and you start asking certain questions, and it's like, why did this happen to me? What have I done to deserve this? How dare they, like, how dare they not say ready, set, go? Or how will I ever attain X now that this has happened? Or there's no other options. And it sucks because you're actually allowing your ego to really take over, you getting closer to your financial happiness, and just accepting financial mistakes. And I hope when you guys listen to this or watch this, you think of these moments when you made a mistake with your, I shouldn't say make a mistake. You made a choice on something, and maybe it set you back a little bit with your financial planning, or being financial, giving you more financial happiness. Instead of thinking of, oh, what have I done to deserve this? You want to think of, okay, what lesson did I learn from this, and how can I do better the next time, right? AKA, oh, maybe I shouldn't trade um the test, maybe I shouldn't do day trading. Maybe I should focus more on investing for the long term, because we all know that when it comes to trading, you actually lose more than you actually will when it comes to investing for long term, right? So that's one way that you want to look at it, is you, there is a struggle between the ego and the and money, and I want people to be aware of that and find ways to actually overcome that. So there are 4 ways to tame your ego, or to calm it. Tame, yeah, tame. And it's like what I said before. One is become aware. You can tell that your ego is present. Trust me, I can tell when it comes true in certain situations, and you feel yourself becoming stressed, defensive, outraged, or angry. It's your ego is telling you um, that there's a division, maybe. Nope, that's not the word. There is an obstacle in this ideal scenario, and you have to fix it. AKA, like, okay, I know that trading isn't the best bet for me, so I should turn into investing, because that's a better, when you see it overall, people have been winning with investing instead of trading. And remember, trading is short term, instant gratification. Investing is long term, slow and steady wins the race, right? And instead of reminding yourself that you're not perfect, and that yourself that perfect, sorry, remind yourself that perfect isn't the goal anymore, and you'll never be the ideal scenario that you want, to be the authentic you, basically. So just be aware of what's happening and saying, I'm not liking this feeling. How can I fix it? Do I have, and that comes with planning, right? I try to stress this with everyone. In order to be able to overcome certain things, you have to plan. And if you kind of derail from the plan, it it's kind of like your ego is set in a way, your ego, your stubbornness, and also just you have to plan accordingly. That's the only way you can get out of things. The second thing is staying present. um this is something I have to be mindful as well. But I digress. When you focus on the future, you're making things up. Mm, mm. You actually have no idea what the future holds. And financial happiness depends on your ability to disregard the worrying activity of the ego and stay present in the moment. And I mean, I see where they're coming, because I am an overthinker, a worrier, and I kind of have if this scenario doesn't work, then I also have this scenario that might work. And that's, in my mind, I think it's okay to have, but you know, and there was a time when I was, oh, no, I'll say it. There was a time when I was trying to survive on very little money. One day I was waiting for a payment to come into in the mail that was going to cover my expenses for the next week. I couldn't go grocery shopping until I opened the mail. When I did, the payment wasn't there, but rather than freak out, I brought myself back to the present moment. How much money do I really need right that very moment? And I just realized that the bills weren't actually due another 5 days. So I had lasagna in the freezer, and didn't actually have to go to the grocery store. So a situation like that, I understand. So ideally, we all have. So let's say for entrepreneurs as well, you anticipate that someone's gonna pay you by the end of the week, right? They don't pay you by the end of the week. You kind of like get into panic mode, and then you're like, I was anticipating that money to do something that day. And when that day doesn't arrive, you start panicking and worrying about the future. But just like in that scenario, that story, you have to freeze for a moment and look at what you have around you at that very moment in time, and be able to dissect and figure out what's your next step at that very moment, right? And then just send out reminders. Send out reminders. You owe me money and stuff, right? So that's one. The third one is focus on the essence. Letting go of the should in your life, the type of structure or action the ego wants, allows you to focus on the essence of what you want instead of the form. So there is an example. When I was looking for my first apartment out of college, initially I was obsessed with the idea of living in Portland, because that was the cool place to live. But when I looked at apartments there, they were noisy, old, small, and crowded, which was completely the opposite of the apartment living experience I had been dreaming of. I realized that when I pictured my new place, I was somewhere quiet, green, serenity, open, airy, and away from the hustle bustle of business. So if I had rented an apartment where I was supposed to want to live, I would have regretted the decision. So I'm pretty sure there's a lot of folks that can think that way as well. Like, example, in Toronto, a lot of people want to live downtown. You don't know why, because it's expensive. Sorry. So most people want to live downtown, be close to well, okay, let me say this. Not most. Folks that are, I would say, that want to be in that lifestyle of downtown living, want to be downtown. but then they realize that maybe that's not what they actually want, that they actually want peace of mind or peace and quiet or something more affordable where it's outskirts and more quiet. And so you're able to go into the hustle and bustle. I don't think it's like I remember living in Seoul and Korea, and it was really busy. And there was times when I was like, yo, I remember when I lived in um Wachun, and when I lived in Wachun, it was more of it was countryside. It was calm, it was cool. I had peace of mind. And if I ever wanted the hustle bustle and that um going out and stuff, then I go into the city. But I actually love being in peace and quiet, and I've come to notice that I like doing that now too. But yeah, so focus on the essence, right? And the last one is manage expectations. The moment you become aware of your ego's expectations around situations, the less power it has over you. I often notice it leaking when I'm when I'm driving. If I'm getting frustrated with other drivers, I know that I'm buying into ways a way things should be instead of accepting what is. Mm. Um, Expectations. I believe a lot of us have expectations on how our life should be, obviously. And when we feel like it's not going as planned, that's when we get frustrated. It could be like you're not at the status that you want to be. You're not at the working position that you want to be. So it's that way. That's the way to define you in a sense, and that it could also, have effect on your financial happiness. So if you actually take the moment to like let go of that and just the real you is able to be free and explore a life uniquely suited to you, then you'll see how lovely things can be. When I think about that, that's a good one. We all have expectations on how with the plan that we have, like let's say you have a 5-year plan and you expect to do this, that, that. I mean, unless you are doing everything by all means to get to that next step, then it's cool, but how are you? It might be hindering you in the present moment because you just like, no, I gotta do this because I have to get to that spot, guaranteed. But it's okay if it takes longer. It's okay. Like, it's fine. Like, if you want to be um a homeowner by I was gonna say 2025. But let's say closer. You want to be a homeowner 2023 because that's what you expect, probably because what other people expect from you as well. But are you doing the certain things to get to that position? And if you're not, you gotta take a moment, be aware of your like be aware of what your finances are like and see how you can work towards that, and also get a professional as well, because I think the one issue is with our egos is that we think we can do it all by ourselves, or we think we can do it without any help, and that's not the case. There's some advice, there's some strategies, you need others to help you. So why not do that? Right? So that's an idea. Also, I'm looking at the time and I gotta wrap up real soon. I want to do actually I will do another time. I will quickly say the 8 ways egos can kill a business really quick. Promise. Now I'm going to explain it. My ego wouldn't recognize how much I needed to learn. Boom, what I just mentioned. You can't do it alone. Number 2, made me ignore opportunities. That's a killer. I overestimated my abilities. That was 3. 4, I micromanaged. 5, my ego won't let me ask for help. Why? Number 6, every decision revolved around me. 7, I couldn't back down. I had to win. Yesterday. And number 8, I set impossible goals. If anyone's hearing this, actually what I'll do is I will mention this in the what's the word? The description, just to see if anyone can relate. I will put the reference because I don't want to, copy anyone's thing, but that is great things. And then there's ego, the depletion. And that means it's a psychology concept. When we make lots of decisions or are under a lot of stress, our brain gets tired, our self-control starts to loosen, and we start to make impulsive decisions. These impulsive decisions can be a real budget killer. So I want to ask you guys, have you ever experienced that ego depletion? No, ego depletion, where it affects you to the point of going off the rail of your game plan? And the best way to save, should I do it real quick? Recognize that it exists and avoid stressful situations, spread decisions out, plan ahead, avoid temptation. Sometimes that temptation though. And I'm talking about food, of course. Or temptation with like shopping or eating out and stuff. That's when everything derails as well. Eat something sweet, get into a routine, and create a good spending habit. Oh wow. But yeah, like I digress. Your ego can really get you in a position that you don't want to get into or you don't want to be in. So once again, when it comes to your ego, please be mindful about it and just try to relax and be aware, and you don't want it to take over you, right? But I do have to wrap up because I do have to get ready still because I'm gonna be late. And I try not to be late. However, but I want you guys to like, subscribe, please answer the question. Has your ego ever I know I had the question because I wrote it down before. Has your ego, oh, there it is. Sorry. Has your ego gotten the best of you financially? I forgot it at the moment. Has your ego gotten the best of you financially? Let me know. It was lovely chatting with y'all. Like, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. Make sure you guys save some money for the weekend, or be mindful. Tell somebody I love them. Be kind to folks. You don't know what they're going through, and just be an overall nice person, folks. All right. And on that note, we are out of here with Andre's tune. See it.
Anywhere.
God of Fame Music.
A ville, flip, flash, money, literacy boss. Flip, flash, money, literacy boss. Flip, flash, money, literacy boss. Flip, flash, anywhere, chop, flip and flash, money, literacy boss. Greatness in our blood because we're working for
Choo!